Hi, I'm Charles. I own and direct Kaleidoscope School of Music and Kaleidoscope Rock Academy here in the Seattle area. And I've made a number of Godin guitar videos at this point. I have done a unboxing or unbagging and review of the guitar I'm holding right now, which is the Godin xtSA. I got it last winter, and I feel like just now, it takes me a while, but just now I'm really getting used to it and really coming to enjoy this guitar as its own thing. I have a number of other Godin videos that you can find under the Lessons and Gear demo playlist on this channel, or I'll link some of them down below in the description. This is a more in-depth or particular video about this guitar that I got last year. I've done a string changing video on it. I've done like a basic review. But now that I've had it for almost a year, I've been exploring different ways to use it. So this is a solid body electric made by Godin. It was just over $1,000, I think. A company I trust, so I ordered one from Musician's Friend without even seeing it. Normally I like to buy guitars in person. This guitar is special in that it has an acoustic simulation. I've got a picture here of the places where you plug things in. It has an acoustic output. It has an electric output, which you can run to different amps. And it also has actually a 13-pin MIDI output, which I'll probably talk about in other videos, but I'm still just barely scratching the surface with that capability. In the beginning, like a lot of people, I was thinking I'd use this guitar in songs that have both acoustic and electric parts. So, you could play like the acoustic intro to Peace of Mind by Boston and then switch pedals and be on a rock and distortion sound. There's different ways you could do that, but I actually have here, these are my partners in crime. I have a Fishman Mini Loudbox, which is under my desk. And I've got a Spark positive grade amplifier that's my electric sound. But this video is specifically about how to use one of the interesting characteristics of this guitar, the ability to do acoustic simulation to get like a more semi-hollow body jazz tone, kind of take your solid body that direction. This is what the guitar sounds like on the bridge pickup through my basic clean sound that I use on my positive grade amp for like everything. If I switch up to the neck pickup for a little bit more of a jazzier sound, I'm gonna turn this up slightly. Yeah, I got the squeaky chair here. Sorry. If I roll the tone knob back, it's kind of a solid body trick. If I roll the tone knob back a little bit, this just has a master tone knob for all the pickups. You can make it sound a little darker there. On a solid body like this, it gives you what I like better as a jazz tone, but it also kind of loses clarity. I'll just play it for a little bit with this before I do the trick that I'm going to explain. So that's kind of like my starting solid body jazzy tone out of this particular guitar. But here's where the fun starts. If I mix in using the acoustic controls up here on top, if I mix in just a little bit of the Fishman acoustic amp, all of a sudden you've got like this clarity that punches through a little bit. So you still have the same tone underneath that. If I turn it off again, if I plug it back in a little bit, that's the barest amount of it. A little bit more. It might be tempting to overdo it just because that acoustic sound is so bright and beautiful, like very punchy. But I think that's taking it too far as the purpose at hand, so I'm going to dial it back a little bit. Right now I'm on like, I think, 25 to 30% of full volume on this slider. Maybe still a little bit bright. I also could play around with the 3-band EQ a little bit here. That was just kind of dialing the treble back a little bit. If I dial it too far back, I'm kind of killing the effect of blending the acoustic in at all. So right now we've got about 25-30% on volume, about the same on treble. We've got the mid-range up about 60%, and we've got the bass up most of the way on the 3-band EQ up here. But if I take the acoustic out again, it's very different. So pull this up a little bit again. That does some amazing things to the sound. That's with the acoustic. If I take it out again, put it back in. I like it better now that I've kind of pulled the treble back a little bit, but if you felt like it was getting too dark, you could push it back up again. If you want to know how I have my Fishman set, maybe I'll turn the electric off. So to get the electric sound out of it, you just use the normal main volume knob down here for that pickup. That's all the acoustic Fishman amp sound. It might not be the actual sound I use when trying to do an acoustic part on this guitar. It sounds kind of thin. But if I bring the electric back in, I can dial this back a little bit. Take it down a little bit more again. Kind of shows you a good range of options that you have. I think this is pretty awesome because I tend to think of this guitar just as like all acoustic, all electric, but now I've got the option to kind of blend the two together for an effect, right? You can do the same effect with a rock guitar situation. You can have like distortion on your main guitar amp and then like an acoustic sound playing the exact same thing at the same time. There's probably some classic rock songs that were actually tracked that way, but now you can do it as being just one person, one guitarist. It just shows you that you got a whole other new thing you can do it with, you know. So I'm bringing my treble back again. If I turn the tone knob down a little bit more on the electric, so the electric sound is now really dark. But then you bring this in, it gives you just a totally different thing. Apologize for the fingers always having colored pen on them, but that's what it's like when you teach guitar all day long to all ages, and for little kids, you love to use colors. So. Play that same thing without the acoustic. Bring it back in. This is a really nifty option. Let me show you a couple of things with this. There's these really thick jazz picks. They're 2 millimeters. My student Bruce brought these in for me. They're kind of cool. Give you a little bit more of a rounder tone just from using a different pick. You also can do kind of a trick of flipping the pick around so you're using the dull side. Picks for playing jazzy stuff. What if you don't have an acoustic amp? So that's the next challenge. So we're going to figure out what it sounds like if we use the guitar where it says mix. If you use just the top output and you take out your electric amp, What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to use the mix through the Spark. So the Spark's in the red cable here. So I got to unplug both of them. So we're using the just the one cable that says acoustic mix, and I believe this is going to give me the option to blend back and forth between the two pickup systems in the same amp, which is the Spark right now. So turning the acoustic off, I went back to my neck pickup here. Turn the tone knob back up for a sec. So that's the electric sound of the xtSA on the neck. And then this is the acoustic sound through the Spark amp. Obviously, it's not sounding quite as acoustic, so that shows you that the Fishman amp is actually doing its job. But the question is that going to help me get the same effect of like more of a semi-hollow body jazz sound? So let's try. So with it off, that's just the pickup on the, that's just the neck pickup. Plug this in. I think I'm going to pull the treble back up because I don't feel like it's doing the same thing it did when I was plugged through the Fishman amp. Take it out again. It kind of works. I think it definitely a separate acoustic amp is a better bet. But if you take out the acoustic amp, it's doing something. Pull the mid-range out a little bit. It just feels a little bit twangier now that it's running all through the same amp. Kind of like I've got more of like a Stratocaster overtone than really like an acoustic or a semi-hollowbody overtone. So I keep playing around with the EQ to see if that will help. I think the problem is it just feels less like I'm blending two things together and more like I'm just altering the basic electric tone. Another option would be, of course, is if you have a PA system or any PA system speakers or keyboard amp speakers or maybe even a bass amp speaker, you might get more of the acoustic tone by plugging the output of the acoustic into that instead of your electric amp. You know, not everyone's going to have like a Fishman Mini Loudbox around. I think it's a very versatile and really valuable amp, and it's really made me enjoy playing acoustic instruments a lot more. So for the price tag, I've had mine 6 years or something, used it a lot, still working great. It really helped me fall in love with the Godin acoustic guitars to have that amp because it really brought them to life. So I really recommend having one, but if you don't, and you don't feel like the electric is doing this trick that I'm talking about adequately, you could try a PA system type speaker. I do have an SWR Working Man amp that sounds really great too as well, but those are out of production, so maybe you can find one used. It's a much bigger amp than the Fishman, so the Fishman's nice and compact. Yeah, I just kind of feel like that just makes it twangy, you know, not really necessarily what I'm looking for. Good dial the tone knob on the neck pickup down about a little bit. Take the acoustic out again. That helped a little bit. So I would say if you're going to do this with an electric amp as your only output, I would say maybe roll the tone knob, the electric pickup tone knob way down first, so the electric sound is really dark. And then when you mix in the acoustic, there's a little bit more contrast between the bass tone and what you're mixing in. It's kind of weird because it almost doesn't feel like the brightness and the darkness are integrated as well, even though they're coming out of the same amp. I guess if I release my first album, it's called Random Noodling in B flat dominant 7. I got that figured out, huh? Take the acoustic out again. Pretty dark. Put it back in. It's going to add something, so now that I've got it kind of set up this way, it's better than nothing at all. It still demonstrates the trick a bit. Yeah, right now I kind of feel like I hit the sweet spot. I've got the volume on the piezo pickup at about 60%, treble at about 80%, mid-range halfway, bass maybe 60%. I've got the tone knob rolled all the way down on the electric neck pickup, and then I'm using the neck pickup exclusively. So yeah, I'm liking that better than anything else I've done with this. The Spark being the dual output so far. I have to admit, I'm tempted to go back to the original setup just to end this video, so I am going to replug in the Fishman amp. So we'll see how fast I can remember how to get it back to my dual output with 2 amps set up. So I'm going to pull the treble down on the acoustic EQ, pull the volume down a little bit, roll the tone knob on the neck pickup a little bit up. I think my mid-range might have been higher too. I hope what was a fairly quick contrast. This is getting back to the Fishman combined with Spark concept. It's kind of funny because it's almost like that hearing hangover effect where, like, now that I was playing through just the Spark for a while, I'm kind of feeling like this sound is unfamiliar. So, you know, that's why you have to spend a lot of time tweaking, recording yourself, listening back, letting things sit for a few days, just to get like as objective a perspective on the final tone you arrive at as you can. Hope this inspired you to try some new things with your Godin guitar. Or if you don't own one of these, strongly recommend it. Plays really nice. The native pickups when you turn the acoustic system off have a unique sound. They don't quite sound like a Les Paul. They don't quite sound like any other guitar I have because they are the Godin pickups. It's a very playable guitar. It's super versatile. I do have the Roland GR55 synthesizer system, so I need to demonstrate that in some other video. If you're interested about other Godin guitars, I feel like I'm representative for them or something. I'm not, but I have an A6, an A12, a nylon Encore nylon string. Brain fart there. I've got a baritone, A6 baritone. I've got a TC Telecaster that I bought in 1993, first Godin guitar that's been heavily remodeled, and then I've got an Inuk and an Oud. So that's my Godin fleet, and there's lots of videos about those as well. Thanks for checking out this video on this channel, and we'll see you next video. Thanks.